Hello there and welcome to a very quick video today, hopefully going over the process behind the Lego minifigure factory. It helps if I had the box to hand before I started recording, but we're going to go with it anyway. And I did get a few clips of the actual printer at work, so you'll probably see them quite a few times in this video. And on screen now I put up a few different clips of the actual trip to Leicester Square, as I picked up loads of things. I did originally aim to try and pick up the winter VIP or insider's bag early, but turns out that the Lego minifigure factories weren't actually as expensive as I had thought, and they didn't have any of the new Builder minifigure pieces in stock. Well, more importantly, they didn't have the winter hat and the new dark red Santa hat, but I ended up going to Stratford, picking them up anyway. Good old Stratford. The only problem with Stratford was they didn't have this Lego minifigure factory, which is currently, as far as I'm aware, in London only at Leicester Square, and it's actually only at a few different locations around the globe, so you can check it out on lego.com. Just Google Lego minifigure factory and you'll be taken to a page where it lists every single store that has this minifigure factory design. And overall, really interesting. I mean, walking into the store, you're greeted with, I think Leicester Square have like 8 different computers with it. But what you have to do first is go up to the tills, ask for this box here, which is just a little minifigure factory. I mean, it looks like a minifigure factory itself, especially when you open it up, as we will in a minute. But there's nothing too special about the box. It's a complete cardboard box, no plastic insert. And this barcode on the bottom is what you actually have to scan on the computer to start designing your minifigure. And what it does is it takes you to a screen where, as you see, it's pretty much like this. It's got a few designs you can choose from, different sort of clip art images to put on. You can just draw your own thing, which is what they've done here, drawing a heart. You can also get some pre-made text to put on, or you can type your own thing, as I have done. We'll look at mine in a second, but it's really cool, and you can just do so much with your minifigure torso. You can design the front and back of your torsos, and realistically, you can do anything you like. Obviously, it has to be appropriate. There are kids around, and your designs do pop up on a screen right next to the printer. And then it's a bit like McDonald's. If you've ever gone into a McDonald's and you're waiting for your order, you get your name pop up. You do have to give a name for it, and I'll get onto that in a minute, because you do get really awesome Lego piece with that printed on. But your name gets called, you go collect your torso, and whilst they're actually printing your torso, you can go collect other accessories. What is included in this torso? So this is £10 or about $15, probably closer to €15 than a tenner. But I pay £10 here in the UK in Leicester Square store, and that gets you the double-sided printed torso. You then get a hat or hairpiece, a head, an accessory, and legs, all from the Builder minifigure station. So realistically, I wanted another winter hat. They didn't have any, so I think I ended up picking up a ice cream hat. I think I had a shield with it. I had this head which had some really long sideburns and a cool dual molded leg piece, because the pieces in the Builder minifigure are really cool now and double molded, sometimes even with extra printing. I don't quite think I've seen any side of the leg or arm printing yet, though it wouldn't surprise me if we get some generic arm printing in the future. And you also get some interesting heads. You can get pieces with hearing aids and different accessibility features as well, which I think is really nice of Lego to include. They've made it very inclusive, and you get all different colours of hairpiece. We just got a pink one with the winter one. We actually already had a different shade of pink from Ninjago. We've got blue. We've got some bright gold pieces like Rubius Hagrid's hairpiece from the Harry Potter line. So it's very interesting how they've managed to squeeze that in there. But I guess the hairpiece itself probably wasn't created just for Rubius. So there are ways that they get around getting a few different license pieces, like the Spider-Man dual molded legs, which aren't exclusively used for Spider-Man. So you can also pick them up and build a minifigure if you want to improve some of your old Spider-Man minifigures. But I've gone on for long enough about it without showing what is inside. So if you open it up, you can see, I mean, before I even show you what's inside, this is when you just open down this big flap. So you can see already it looks like a factory there, and you've got all the different cogs and antennas there. And once you open it up, you've got your minifigure with the torso. Obviously, Yoda isn't on the Build a minifigure, not yet at least. That would be some sort of Star Wars deal. But I did add the Yoda and legs to my torso afterwards because I've made the New York I Heart torso, and it was part of a video I did making the top 10 most expensive Star Wars minifigures for really cheap. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in Lego Star Wars. But you can see that you get the minifigure and he does clip in there quite nicely. I mean, he's not falling out of there without applying a little bit of pressure. And you also get this brick here, which is the brick I was talking about when I said you needed to give a name. It does come out quite easily. It just slots into a little gap in there, which you can see with a bit of light. And there's even a printed tile just at the back here with 3 more antennas. It's an awesome little box. We do have 2. One that my fiance made a Christmas decoration with, which you can. She printed a Christmas sweater onto it, added a scarf and a few different trees, leaves and the year on the back of the torso. It's very nice, and the box is actually useful to put the decoration back away. I'm not quite sure what I'll do with mine, but if you wanted to store a few more other bits, like you've got a few other Christmas decorations, again, another video I've made, and they're all currently on a Christmas tree, you can take the insert right out. It's only a card, quite a durable card insert, so that flips right out and you've got now a whole box for storage. So I think this might be a bit more useful, especially if you've got spare pieces and don't have a spare piece dish or any other boxes to keep it in. I guess if you've gone to the Pick-a-Brick, them boxes are also quite big. So this is roughly what I think we could be expecting to see for the Builder minifigure. They're meant to be getting some new cardboard boxes, and if you haven't seen the Pick-a-Brick box yet, then you're just in luck. I still have it on my desk, and it is this box here, which is really cool. It's got a nice Lego brick design onto it. It's patterned all the way around, not on the bottom, but including the top. And you've also got a few of the Lego studs. I've got mine filled with masonry bricks, of course. It's like the gold dust. You've got to have some masonry bricks. I mean, I've already used through about half of them just on my Christmas mock, so plenty more mock building to come with these. And I think this is more the size of the new Build a Minifigure boxes, which hopefully we get to see in the new year, because they've taken their time getting the Pick-a-Brick boxes out, and now they're out, they're really useful. They're square. I guess you're not going to make much use of the Build a Minifigure boxes, but with all the plastic cases, not only would boxes be helpful for storing things, as I've said, a little spare pot or whatever really you want to contain, but also trying to find a place for these to go isn't necessarily too easy. I mean, they are quite nice. You can always add a pin to your wall and store it like that, which, saying that, I now might do for a few of my special minifigures, but I just don't really see these being too easy to store anyway. You can't really flat pack them because you have to open them up, and then they're taking up like double the room of what they were before, and they are a bit of a nuisance to keep around. I use mine to store all my Christmas and Halloween figures. You can see my Halloween figures are nice and tucked away, and after the Christmas period I'll do the same for my Christmas minifigures. I'll probably get a few more Christmas minifigures in there if I wanted to, so I could even whack the Star Wars jumpers away, which I probably won't end up doing, but it's an option if you wanted to do it, because you can fit 2 or 3 different minifigures. I mean, something like the witch's hat or a piece with dress piece on it might only get 2, but look at these minifigures over here. You can definitely get a third, perhaps like another zombie or something in that side. So you can store up to 9 minifigures in each of them. The boxes, even if they're this size, you could probably still get about 8 to 9 minifigures in them. So I might have to do a video testing them, and once we get the new Builder minifigure boxes, you know I'm going to head straight to the Lego store, pick them up, and it makes it easier for Lego employees to actually check the contents of them, as you just open them up. Yep, 3 minifigures, 3 accessories, and close them, and just makes it a bit easier. Hopefully it also means that we'll be able to pick up a few more, like 9 minifigure heads or 8 minifigure torsos based on what we need, rather than the actual minifigures, as they are more boxed up and less separated into 3. But again, that's a video for another time. With the minifigure factory, this is the brick you get, and it's got my name printed on one side, and the other side just has Lego Leicester Square Store. So I'll give you a close-up of the brick there. Sorry for my shaky hands, but you can see I've got my name on one side, and on the other side you have the location of the Lego store that you built the minifigure in. So it's really cool that they give you a printed tile as well. It's a 1x3 tile, perhaps not the best to squeeze anywhere, but does mean that you can just add a 1x3 jumper plate with the 2 studs on top, and it's actually the width of the minifigure, which is really cool, especially if the hands are pointed in. Minifigures are only 3 bricks wide, which you might not have known because everyone sort of assumes that they're 4 bricks. Not quite, only 3 bricks. And another look at my minifigure, you can see you've got the New York I Heart torso on one side, and just because I've got to support London, London I Heart on the other, or I Heart London on the other side, which was a pre-made sticker, and thought for the back of the torso, you're not going to see it from one side, so depending on which mood I am, I can display it either way around. And for now, this does sit on my minifigure shelf because I do actually have my custom minifigure stand on it. As you can see, 3 bricks is the width of a minifigure, so that'll also go back on my shelf. And hopefully I enlightened you a bit to the minifigure making process. I know I get very distracted in some of these videos, but you buy a box at the counter, you scan it, you design your torso, and you just let it print whilst you collect your other pieces, and there's nothing really more to it. I've not seen anyone make this sort of video, at least no one that's been to the Lego store. So hopefully this finds you helpful, and only a tenner, it really is worth it, especially if you're going to make a Christmas ornament or do something special for a loved one. Even just mess around and have a bit of fun like I did, spending a tenner for a custom Yoda, which currently goes for up to 12,500, even slightly over 12,500 pounds. Crazy prices. Do check that video out if you like expensive minifigures. But that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like if you do and subscribe for more content, a bit different to this, reviews, mocks, and all the sets coming in the new year. May the bricks be with you always.